What's up, folks? Figured I would talk about a stadium that hasn't actually been in use in the last probably since 1999. So the reason I did is because it's got some quirks and different things that other stadiums have paid homage to. So we do Tiger Stadium in Detroit. It was at the time when it shut down. It was along with Fenway Park, the oldest stadium in Major League Baseball, and it had some different quirks that not a lot of stadiums had, and it's because it was so old. Whenever they built it, they had to add on to it constantly. So the first thing that was weird that not a whole lot of stadiums had was they had a 125-foot flagpole in fair territory, right in dead center field. So that was at 440 feet, so you didn't really get a lot of balls hit out there. But still, having that in play, not a whole lot of stadiums had that. Now Houston had that they had Tiles Hill, and they had recently, I think probably 2 or 3 years ago, just taken that out because they deemed that unsafe in dead center field. Another interesting quirk about the stadium, whenever they built the stadium, they did not have two decks. So they only had one deck out in right field, and when they built the upper deck, they actually built it separate onto the lower deck. So the upper deck actually hung over the stadium about into right field, about halfway out into the warning track. So at the lower deck, it was marked at 325, and the upper deck was marked at 315. So it is actually a shorter home run distance. Another interesting fact about that too is if you wanted to go from the upper deck to the lower deck, you actually had to leave the stadium and then re-enter the stadium, because there were two separate areas in order to get into that portion of the field. The old Texas Rangers ballpark, where now the Dallas Renegades are playing, actually their upper deck in right field, they made a double decker like that, but they said it was paying homage to it, but it actually sits back quite a ways from the playing surface. It doesn't overhang like it did at Tiger Stadium. So last kind of interesting fact about that, Ty Cobb, old baseball player, he's played in old, don't recall the exact year that he played, but they used to grounds crew, because Ty Cobb was one of the fastest players in the game. Ty Cobb, they used to spray the batter's box next to him, just the area, that dirt right away from home plate, in order to slow down his bunts so he could get to first base faster. So that's all the quirks and interesting trivia facts about this stadium. It was nicknamed the Corner because it was on the corner of Trumbull and Michigan Avenue in Detroit, in the Corktown neighborhood. They have since they've knocked down the whole stadium. They've since redeveloped it into some apartments and some youth baseball fields. So where the old home plate was is still there, but it is no longer standing anymore. So interesting. I thought it was pretty neat, some of the things that they did with that stadium.